Now that you have your file all set up, you have everything saved, you've taken a tour around the software itself, let's go ahead and get you started. We are going to take your floor planner bedroom project that you did, and we're going to put it here into Revit as just a nice and easy first step. So we need to think about our levels, because when you think of in your bedroom, you have your concrete slab, and then you have your walls that sit on top of that, and then you have your ceiling and you have your roof. And we need to set these elevation levels up so that we have starting and stopping points for all of this. So when we look over here on the left-hand side, we have level 1, level 2, we have site. So I'm going to click on my east view so that we can actually see them. And I'm just going to pan over and zoom in. So the very bottom one is going to be our ground level. And so I'm going to double click on here and rename it ground level. Yes, that way it saves it over here as well. You can see it on both of these. And I want to leave this at 0, 0. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this one to floor level. And then, yes. And this one's actually going to be at 6 inches because that's how thick the slab is. So here it's 6 inches off the ground. So if you zoom in, you have these here that will move things side to side. If you click here, let me right click and cancel out. If you click on this once, you'll see these little jogs, and then you can actually, let me zoom out a little bit. You can drag things so that they're a little easier to see. But when you do that, you got to be careful because look what happens. This is supposed to be at 6 inches. So we need to go ahead and move this up here so that I can actually see where everything's at. And you're going to have to just kind of play with this to see what the easiest way to move things around is, because it's a little bit different. Okay, so the next thing, I'm going to use that to move that over a little bit. The next floor that I need is I want to do a ceiling level. So I'm going to right click on here and do create similar. And my ceiling is going to be 8 feet. So I'm going to click, and you can see here it's 8 feet off of the ground level, which is not correct because, and I just keep hitting right click and cancel, because it's 8 feet off of the floor level. So this needs to actually be 8 feet 6 inches so that it's 8 feet off of our other level. There we go. Okay, so we have our ground level that's at 0, 0, our floor level that's at 6 inches, our ceiling level, which is at 8 feet 6 inches. The last one that we need to do would be our roof. So I'm going to, let me right click a couple times to get out of the commands I'm in. And then I can right click on here and do create similar. Now I'm going to go ahead and just pull it off of my ceiling and make it 2 feet. Well, it's not 2 feet. 6 inches takes us to 9, so it's actually 1 foot 6 inches because we're 10 feet up. Right click a couple times to get out of it. Okay, so now we have all of our different levels. I'm going to switch back to ground level, and let's just get our concrete slab going first. So if you come up here to architecture and go to floor, we want an architectural floor. We want to tell it what kind we want. So when you hit the down, we're looking for a 6-inch concrete, which we don't see. So we need to do edit type on the 12-inch generic, and let's make one. We need to tell it to duplicate, and we're going to make it concrete floor. Let's do floor, 6 inches. Hit OK. You can see here, this is what we're in. Now we need to go into the structure, so we need to edit because we have to tell it we want it to be 6 inches. So hit edit, and it's here that you're going to put that it's 6 inches. Get rid of these feet. And then we can also tell it what material we want. So hit the little 3 dots and come down to concrete. We can just do in place. And we're still at 6 inches, so that looks great. Hit OK. Let's kind of review. Concrete floor, 6 inches. It's 6 inches. And you can change the colors and such. We're not going to worry about that right now. Hit OK. And over here, you can see that it modified to 6 inches. So let's draw our floor. So come up to the draw area and hit the rectangle. I know that I'm going to zoom in because we're zoomed out way too far. That I'm going to make this 13. Now you need to make this whatever size your bedroom is. I'm going to make it 13 by 12. Right click, cancel. Right click, cancel. If you need to modify your dimensions, click on a line and then you're able to change the dimension. Or click on this one and you're able to change this dimension. Go ahead and hit the check mark, the green check mark. And you'll see a little speckled, that's showing you what it looks like. Let's go into our east and make sure it went where we wanted it to go. Okay, so we're at the ground level, but you will notice that it actually went down instead of up. We should be right up to this level here. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a 6-inch offset and watch and see what happens. It moves it up those 6 inches. So now we're placed where we want it to be. Let's go ahead and get your walls, your 4 walls in here. So let's go back to ground level. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of zoom in here. So when we go to architecture, we want to place a wall. It says basic, generic, 8-inch. You can see here the different options that you have. We're going to do a generic 6-inch. And it shows ground level. We want floor level. Otherwise, it's going to be down inside your concrete slab. And let's go ahead and click on the endpoint. Now, you need to be aware of what's happening here. It's straddling your slab. So half of your wall is going to be hanging off and half of it's not. So what happens if we come down? It's all the same. You see that? Okay, so let me show you how to stop that from happening. Up here, you can see location line, and it's on wall center line. So we're going to right click and do cancel, and let's come back up to architecture and do wall one more time, except we're not going to do wall center line. We're going to change it to interior, core face interior. And here we make sure that you're on floor level. And you can do this inside here as well. The top constraint, you want that to be the ceiling level. And you'll notice it's changing them up here. So when we click on here, it's on the outside there, but look, if we change directions, it's on the inside. So we don't want it up here because we've completely missed our slab. We want it to be down here. So I'm going to zoom out so that I can click on this other corner. And it's going to keep going, you guys. So click on all 4 of your corners. Right click, cancel, right click, cancel. And let's go back to, actually, let's double check our east. Make sure that our wall is actually sitting where we want it to be. So it started on top of the slab, which is perfect. And it's coming up to our ceiling level. We forgot to rename our level floor to roof level. So I'm going to do that real quick, just so that I don't forget to do it. Say yes. Right click, cancel, right click, cancel. You always have to cancel twice. Okay, I want to see, let me go back to ground level. I want to see what this looks like in 3D. So come up to your view and click on 3D, and here you can actually see what it looks like. You can see your concrete slab down here. You can see each of your walls. You can see if you zoom in that you are on all the corners. If you miss the corners, there's going to be problems, you guys, so make sure you pay attention to that. So we have our concrete slab and our walls. Great job.